Alright, so for this last lesson, we'll learn how to make the post-production in Photoshop. So I import all the maps into Photoshop, and then I have my base render image, I have the lighting, the material ID. Material ID is good to be able to easily see which materials I want, and the specular for the reflections, so I can control a little bit better the reflections. So I will make all of this into this layer here, project file I mean, specular, and the material ID. I like to keep everything organized, so I'm gonna just name them and color mask. Okay, so this one is. Now I'm going to hide these three layers, and this one I'm going to duplicate by just pressing Ctrl J on the keyboard. You can also just drag and drop into this plus here, okay, to all duplicate. And this one, filter. So this one I'm going to make some edits here. First I want to remove these black bars here. So I'll just go here and do this, like so, and then click image and crop. Okay, I press Ctrl D to deselect. See, you have still these marching ants here. So just press Ctrl D. Okay, first thing we will do is, before going here to filter and start applying our filters, what I like to do is go to right click on this layer and convert to smart object. What this will do is to keep all the changes we make into this file. So for example, let's say I'll put a Gaussian blur, okay? And then, I don't like this Gaussian blur, but if you don't have these smart filters, then this layer will be like this forever. You cannot, unless you start making undo, undo, undo. But like this, you'll have all the filters here. You can just double click and adjust, okay? So it's way less destructive working this way. So I don't want this. Delete smart filter. So I want the camera raw filter. Okay. In this camera raw filter, what I usually do is try to work a little bit with the exposure and the highlights and shadows, so I can see a little bit better shadows. The contrast, I will reduce the contrast a little bit so I can see a little bit better. It's important to look here, okay? This curve cannot be like way up, or this side or this side, okay? So let's see the highlights just a little bit. And now I want to put blacks down and whites, okay. Temperature, let's see. I want this to be a little bit warmer. Actually, like this is better. And I want a little bit of vibrancy in the image. You see the difference without. So let's put more or less here, and just a little bit of saturation. And let's see the before and after. Okay, we can click here on this icon to see what are the changes, what they are doing. Just a little bit less. Because since this image is with this color, this unusual color, I like to really enhance this, so have a lot of saturation. But this is really the personal taste right now. Okay. Oh, actually, let's go to clarity. In clarity, let's see, if I zoom a little bit, if I increase, you see how it's kind of giving a little bit more definition, but I'm going to just leave it at about 15 view. So, okay. You can also go here to lens corrections and start adding the vignetting. Maybe something like this, a little bit, and then the midpoint up a little bit. Okay, let's press OK. So this is our base color correction. Now what I want to do, I want to go to here on the bottom. We have this adjustment layers, and I want to start creating some masks of adjustment layers. For example, to this area, I think it's oversaturated comparing to the building. I just want basically the building to be with this saturation, but not this ground floor. So what I will do is go here, sorry, not here, we'll go here and hue and saturation, and let's decrease till, let's see, -30. I think it's fine. Actually 25. And now what we can do, go here, remember this color mask, we could go to each individual one and select each one and then just apply the mask here. But since we have a lot of different elements in this ground, it's not like the building, what I will do, I'll just press the select the mask here and hit Alt backspace with the black color here selected. So it hides everything, and now I'm going to press X, or you can just go here and change the colors, and with a very large and soft brush, more or less like this is fine. And here the opacity, I'm going to leave it at about 25 or something, and I'm going to start painting over this area like this. So I can paint really like this on this bottom, and just be a little bit more careful around this area. Again, since this is a mask, even if you do something like this, let's say, okay, you are just removing from this building, you can always go back to the black and paint again. Okay, so let's see the difference. See, I think it looks much better because it doesn't distract so much from this building. Now we need to add as well some color balance to this with the same. I can even just control click on this mask, and it will select this mask that we created. And now let's go to color balance, and now you see that it applies the same mask already, so we don't need to be masking again. And now I just want to play here a little bit with these colors, create a little bit more red, this green, more like this. Now just go to the shadows, make a little bit of contrast, and let's see. Okay, so we return just a little bit of the green as well. Now let's go to add some changes here to the sky. So what we can do is go to color mask, and let's select this one and this one, and let's go make a feather as well of 1, so it's not super sharp, the edges. And let's add one exposure effect here, exposure, and on this one I want to make the like this gamma correction a little bit, and then okay, so we have more contrast in the sky. And actually I want to have a little bit more different color as well. See, I like this more cyan color in the sky. Okay, and we can, as we see on the highlights as well. And we'll just remove a little bit on this area. I think it's too much here. Wait, put it back to 25% here, and just remove a little bit. Let's see now. I can remove a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's fine. I want to also on this one go to saturation and just decrease a little bit, like just about 5%. Okay, now I want to add hue and saturation just for these elements here. I think they are too bright. So let's go here and let's select. So we cannot select this one, but we can select this one. But actually, we don't even need this. We can just brush these areas. Let's make it first the way we want, more or less like this. And even the lightness just a little bit like this. Now paint it black, the mask, and now invert the colors and start painting back the... So you see the difference. It's not popping so much, this green here. I'll decrease just a little bit more the saturation, like this. Okay, so it doesn't catch immediately our attention to this area. And also I want this part here to be again a little bit more subtle. It's the other way around. Okay, I think I like it better like this. Now let's start playing around a little bit with the masks. So we have this one. Usually what I do for this is to go here and just multiply and start masking out some of the elements to give more contrast. So what I'll do is go here and black, and then for example I want here on these areas to have a little bit more contrast, so just slightly reduce this a little bit. Especially on these darker areas. And then just one way swipe like this. Okay, see the difference? And now I want a specular mask, and for the specular mask I just put as a screen on the blend mode, and if you see the difference, okay, just a little bit slight, and there's a lot of in the terrain. I don't want that, I just want in the building. So what we'll do is select this mask here, then invert it and just create a mask. Okay, and then it applies just slightly on the building. Now if you go to your files, you have textures here and you have some lens effects. What I'd like to do is put this one here, the lens dirt. I'm just going to scale it like this, and I'll change the mode to overlay. No, sorry, to linear dodge add. And now I will create a mask. I'll make it black. And now I can just go, I just want this around the edges a little bit of the building. So I'll create a shape like this, adjust. I think like this is good. I'll click this icon here. And now I'll go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. So I will increase this even more. So what this will do, it's to create this feather around the mask that we're going to be creating. And now just deselect this. And now you can just with the white color, just press Ctrl and backspace. Actually, it's you have to first go to select inverse the mask. So now you can do this. Okay. So now we have all of this. It's way too much, as you can see. So what we'll do is go to fill and make this like 6%, still a little bit too much, 4%. Okay, and then we can just manually mask still some of the areas to be just a little bit more random, where it's more noticeable. But I just want to have a little bit of grain, like it was a real photo. We always have some grain, some imperfections from the lens. Okay, so this is good. I will also go back here and now get this one, dust particles. I'll use this one as a base and leave it there because I want to scale it multiple times. Just want to, for example, here, create a mask. We do exactly the same thing, linear dodge add. Let's first rasterize this. Okay, now black. Now let's just paint some areas of this. Let me see where I want this part, for example, so the rest can go away. Okay, just a little bit. I want to duplicate this one. And let's see, wait, not this. This part here is nice, so I'll just leave it like this. And this one, just duplicate again and move it maybe here. Again, the same thing. Okay, I like this part here on the bottom. So just slight adjustment, but I think it makes a little bit of difference in the image. So now I want to add some color effects on top of this image that we created. So we'll just create here some curves. I want to add just like an S curve to give a little bit more contrast, just slightly. Now I want to add another color balance. And here I will further adjust the colors to the whole picture. And let's see here, like this. And the highlights is all more red. Okay, I just want to remove slightly on this area. And I want to also have a photo filter. And for this one, you can select which filter you want. You have many here. See? And this will give like an overall color to the whole image. But I think I like this one. I'll just keep it as 10%. And last thing I'm going to do is create here on this base one, I'm going to create noise as well. So I'm going to create add noise. I'm going to make it, yeah, it's already with the value that I want. You just go more to this area. Like so, like this 2.4. I just want a very, very fine grain, okay? And you'll see that it adds to the whole image some grain, if I did just remove it. Again, this is just personal taste, but I like to add the grain to give a more like a photo feel, like a real photo. And you just see here one thing. Actually, I think this one, it's a little too much. I'll remove it. And I'll just remove just the saturation, a little bit of the image overall. And just leave it on the building itself. So we can just go here with the brush. And just remove it here. Okay. So I think this is our final image. And this is a very high resolution image. You can always go here even to take different shots. You can go, for example, let's select the same proportion. 4 like this. Like this is fine. Let's go here and, for example, like this. Actually, more like this. So, and this will be another image that you can save. Okay. So you can have different shots of the same render without actually going and render again another image. So this was the process of how I make my Lumion exteriors. I hope you enjoyed this part of the course, and if you can't get it all done from the first attempt, just be a little patient. You are going through a learning curve, and you will see how things start going smooth and how you will make your renders much faster and with greater quality. See you in the next ones.